They're like, oh, what'd you bring us? And my reason for wanting to build a relationship is obviously to be able to medicate them, but also because we have to figure out next steps. We have to be able to start to eventually get their hooves worked on. Like, there's a lot that has to be done.
And then we're looking for a name for this little fella right here.
Hey y'all, Lester and I said your name first. That's so weird. Jamie and Lester here. We are about to embark on a fabulous, extravagant journey, and it's going to be so fun. And Lester's so excited to help me with this. Okay, not really. Today we are visiting and going to start our taming process, our relationship.
I would say the deferalization.
Oh, deferalization.
Deferalization.
Well, I think I'm gonna call it my relationship with
building bridges. We're gonna build bridges here, Jane. We're building some bonds.
With 3 mini donkeys.
Feral, wild as
bats. Wild as donkeys, to be honest. So I also am going to medicate them and bringing a bucket, and I brought snacks. Like, what could go wrong? This is my first time since they have been here to take the time to spend with them and interact with them. I have fed them a few times to let them know, like, I'm the good guy, but I have not truly spent time in the pasture. So since it's the weekend and there's no Zoom calls to be had, I thought it's a great day. It's a great day to go sit on a bucket. Let's check them out. Oh, hello, friends. How are you? So I made jokes about their names. I called them Little Donkey Andy. I called one Donkey. And then I called one the other guy. That's not fair. They need real names. So Little Donkey Andy is actually a brand of raincoat that Lester and I have had, and that will stay. And Little Donkey Andy is the one that has no wounds. I think it's this one right here. Yep. Now the dark one, Lester has named, right? Yeah. Brandon. And then that tells me we have Andy, Brandon, and I need a C word. So C word.
A name that starts with the letter C.
Yes.
Not Charlie. We've already had a Charlie.
We already had a Charlie. So we need a C.
We already had a Carl.
And we already have a Carl. So we need a C word. Whoa. They're like, oh, what'd you bring us? And my reason for wanting to build a relationship is obviously to be able to medicate them, but also because we have to figure out next steps. We have to be able to start to eventually get their hooves worked on. Like, there's a lot that has to be done. And none of that can be done when they're wild. So
we have visitors, dang it. They're like, snacks?
Yeah, they're like, did we hear you say the S word? We said the S word. Andy? No, Brandon. Andy.
So Brandon
and
is
C
dark
word.
Colored. To remember, Brandon is dark, and he's probably in the worst shape of all. He's in the worst condition of all of them.
Yeah.
He's been through the ringer.
I agree. He has.
Andy is the one that is obviously the alpha. He's more dominant. He has no
He's
bites
always
on him.
first.
He's always first. He's the leader. He's there. Oh no.
You're gonna open that yourself? Do you want any help?
Let me have your camera. So yeah, so Brandon is over here, who's darker, and he's just kind of really been through it. Poor little fella. Andy is not the biggest of the donkeys. He's actually probably the smallest. But he's the alpha. Don't eat out of the dirt. Mama's gonna put it in a bowl. Mama, they're eating the dirt. Babies, you're not that hungry. You're not that hungry. And then we're looking for a name for this little fella right here, but it has to start with the letter C. So we have an A, B, C.
I'm gonna sit on this.
Andy, Brandon, and
C word.
C word. What if they call him C word? Oh my gosh, Jamie, C word. C word might be the most gentle of the 3 feral donkeys, honestly. I'm gonna walk away. I think I'm over here talking is gonna probably disturb them, if you don't mind. Seaward. That is kind of funny, y'all, Seaward. I'm not trying to suggest a name. I would like the internet to help with this over here. But if y'all like the name Seaward, I would be okay with that. Andy. Brandon. Can you say, let's go, Brandon? No, not for anything political, Jamie. Brandon, oh, Lord. People and, oh my gosh, people and their gosh darn politics. And Seaward. Seaward. He's not very trusting. Brandon seems to be lost and confused. He seems to be very dazed. Oh, he needs his handler to help show him the way. Oh, follow Andy. He'll show you where to go, Brandon. There you go. It happens, y'all. It happens. Oh, boy. Andy's like, come on over here. This is where we can eat.
In the worst shape of neck-wise.
Seaward or Brandon?
Seaward is.
Oh, you think Seaward's worse than Brandon?
Well, Seaward is much more outgoing, but Seaward has a bigger wound on this side.
Oh, okay.
Look, a stranger yelling at you.
I know, I can hear. Do you think they're siblings? So they're all around.
One is dad, okay?
You think one of these is the dad?
And the reason I say that is there probably was a female involved, obviously, to birth someone.
Yeah.
And because there's so many males.
Oh, they killed her. So.
It's very brutal. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, so what Jamie's saying, I'm just going to kind of re-paraphrase what she just now said. You may not be able to hear. But she thinks that probably one of these is the father, the dad. And we wouldn't know that until we can have a vet come look at them all. Hi there, Andy. Hi, Andy. One might be the dad. And at some point, there was probably a female. And that female gave birth to 2 sons. This is just a speculation. This is more than likely. And then problem is, because now there's 3 mature males with only 1 female, even though it was their mother, y'all, you know, animals don't behave the way they're supposed to always.
Oh, that's bad.
Pussy?
That's
it has
real bad.
lots of pus inside that. Yeah, I already said we need to get an injection of an antibiotic into them.
Hose it off.
Yeah. And so it's very possible that the 3 of them together took turns and they could have very easily killed the mother. And because that does happen, that can happen. So we have put in different types of medicine on their wounds.
See that I opened it up?
Yeah, I see that.
I didn't mean to.
I just think building the trust, baby, it'll get easier with time. But I think that as these donkeys learn that they can trust us, they have their very own pastures. So there's no other threats in here. Now, yeah, you may have an occasional someone peeking over the fence. You may have a few big birds here and there looking over at them, but no one is chasing them. No one's kicking at them. And you know what's beautiful? If you haven't already noticed this in the few videos we put out, they are not being mean to each other. Whereas over at the other property, especially there when when the doc was there and we were doing all that we were doing that day, you could watch them just being brutally mean to each other. And over here, there's no new bites, there's no new wounds.
No, this isn't old.
Yeah, no one is doing anything mean, so we are absolutely going to follow the right. There you go. That's good, Jamie. We're going to follow the right steps and do everything by the book as far as the legal repercussions of treating animals that are not officially ours. But at the same time, no one knows who they belong to. There's no one who's claiming ownership. So there is going to be, the court of public opinion is sometimes going to side with the animals. I hope that y'all would agree with that. You do what's right for the animals. But there's also the human court, who can be complete assholes and will sometimes not have animals or even children in their best interest. They sometimes will follow other precedents and other laws and other, you know how the system works, y'all. Such a flawed system. But this is something that we've been having to do throughout the day. Different, morning and evenings when it's not quite so hot. You know what I think will be neat at some point is just try to get the hose out and see if they'll let you hose them down.
Yeah, his needs it real bad. The other two are looking much better, but his wounds are pretty deep.
Seaward?
Seaward's got a pretty nasty one.
So Jamie thinks that of all three, Seaward looks to be with the nastiest of wounds.
That means that he's probably the middle guy.
Well, I just saw Seaward turn his tail in towards Brandon and push him away.
Yeah.
So he must have a little bit higher hierarchy than what Brandon does. Brandon is the low man on the totem pole. Yeah, y'all see that? So they're not being mean, but Brandon already knows his place. And his place is, he's not with the other two. He's below them on their hierarchy. But Andy's absolutely number one. So Andy, Brandon, and Seaward. Seaward can change. If y'all can come up with a better name than Seaward. Huh? It has to be a C name.
Does that hurt you? Does that sting a little? I bet it does.
Hi, Seaward. He's like, someone help me with my bobos, please. We're trying to get you an appointment, sir.
Believe it or not, I think the rain is going to be in our favor these next couple days.
Well, it's starting to rain now, so that's good.
I know that sounds.
Oh,
really
look at the birds.
silly.
No, they're all starting to lay down. Like, yep, here comes the rain. Here comes the rain. All the goats are running. How long till Jamie begins to melt?
I won't melt.
I may have to lasso him to get you to really be able to medicate him right.
But legitimately, if he can be out in this rain a little bit, I know they have a shelter. That rain is going to help us more than hurt as far as he goes.
Absolutely.
So this is a blessing of timing for him. I know I just got medicine on him, but
Hey,
we can do it again. He's
Y'all-
getting more trusting.
y'all should know that everybody loves you. We don't know you too good yet, but we still love you. If everybody loves them, y'all let us know in the comments how much you love them. And who's your favorite, y'all? You have to have a favorite by now. Come on.
Andy, Brandon, and Seaward.
Andy, Brandon, and Seaward. And remember, if y'all can think of a better name than Seaward, then by all means, it has to start with the letter C, okay? Oh, this is going to be fun, Jamie. It's going to be a fun adventure.